To see you all here back at the Kazerne. To start off the night, because of course we're gonna talk about tourism within the bigger frame of how Eindhoven is developing, how the city is developing, and where we're gonna move towards. And of course within the context of the Innovation Café, so from both a tech and a design perspective. Officially, we don't have a designer this evening, but it's okay. Roland, it is okay. I'm a designer. Yes. No, but, sorry? Yes, definitely. So we're covered. And when I biked here, I had to think of the moment that I applied for the Design Academy Eindhoven. It was my very first time that I came to Eindhoven. I didn't know anything about the city. So I walked out of the train station with my big map, and then I walked to the school, and then I handed it in, and then I also needed to go to the TUE because that was the bargain I made with my parents. So then they had the open day at the same day, and then after that open day, after that afternoon, I could walk back to the Design Academy, could pick up my map again, and walked back to the station. That was my first route of Eindhoven. Not a very inspiring one. But then I got accepted, and then I had to be a tourist. I had to be a tourist and go to Eindhoven and figure out what this city was, where I needed to be, where I maybe wanted to live, what was a nice neighborhood, etc., etc. So at that point, I actually needed what all those people are making at the moment. That would have been amazing for me to understand the city and then to feel what kind of vibe, of what kind of atmosphere is important for this place. So, Roland, you're gonna take us along on how you view tourism and how you view how people should explore something and should experience something. And then Dennis and Gabi, you're gonna take us along on how you can actually adapt something to the person that comes to the city. And I'm first gonna hear both of you speak, and then I think we're gonna dive in a bit more in how people want to experience something and what people are looking for. So I'm very curious to hear what both of you have to say. Ronald, can we start with you?
Okay. Well, I'm going to help you. First, thank you very much for being here this evening. So I'm going to help you doing a little bit of exercise with your neck as well, moving from left to right. The first part is just to do a quick introduction in who am I? Who's Roland? Because I don't know if you recognize this picture, but it's the St. Joseph's Ziekenhuis in Eindhoven. And I am from Eindhoven. And I'm very proud to be back. And Anna was just telling her about her first experience as a tourist. And actually, I started in May in my new role. And I went on a bicycle to maybe my second experience as a tourist in Eindhoven, realizing that Eindhoven really changed a lot since I left Eindhoven. I studied in Eindhoven, and after my study, I went to start my career, and I worked for almost 16 years with Mickey Mouse, with the Walt Disney Company. And it's all about experience. It's all about what you can give to your guests from a wide perspective when they go and visit a park. That's one thing. And the second thing, what I learned at Disney, is that even in a huge, big company, you can make a difference. And that's in Eindhoven exactly the same. Even in a big city, we can all make a difference. And so I did that for 16 years, 2008 years. I was a couple of years in Zandvoort, where we worked with the city to change the bestemmingsplan. How do you say that in English? Disregarding what Formula One does to nature. This is also about thinking different and to have the capacity of when you do things, the first time when a circuit is getting 89% of the visitors by public transportation or by bicycle. So doing things differently. I did that a couple of years. And the last 5 years, I moved from being in the outside to being in other countries, back to the Netherlands. And then I moved to Brabant, to the Breda University. And I was the Dean of the Academy for Leisure and Event. And so the common thread in everything what I've been doing is looking at it from a guest perspective, Disney, or looking at it from a student perspective at the university. And the nice thing is that there are many more clients than just a student at the university. It's also the parents of the student, or where they do internships, or companies where they are offered their first contract. And so you have a lot of different customers or clients. And that is in Eindhoven exactly the same. You know, it's not only the city and the municipality of Eindhoven, or the newcomers, or the old generation or the new generation, but also the one that live in Tongeren or in Gerstel or in Woensel. And so you have a lot of different clients that you look at and that you have to embrace in order to move forward. And foremost, I have 5 boys, so I'm a family man, and that is for me important as well. And then you come back to Eindhoven after 30 years, and you bring all that experience where Eindhoven is growing big time, and we can't stop it. And the good thing is that when you grow, there's naturally a lot of challenges. And I just put down a couple of challenges that are really important. That how do we deal with all the newcomers? What do we do with affordable housing? What are we doing with the polarisatie? I cannot buy a house anymore, and it goes to... And how is Eindhoven remaining the Eindhoven of where I have a nice time? And all those challenges, we translate it, and we move from a technical and a design foundation in the city. And I'm sorry, Annemone, but it's a typo. But what is really important with this growth that is going to be there, or is there, that we just take the next step, that we have to be looking at the human side of it. So many challenges that we are facing within the city. These are how to activate citizens, making tourism sustainable, connecting to talent, etc., etc. And we are focusing today under number 2, that is tourism. Because we want to be the most human, innovative city. And how do we do that? When we address it with tourism. That's a quick intro, and then I hand over the mic to Dennis.
No, first, I have a question first. Yeah, you warned me that you weren't going to stop talking, so I didn't expect you to stop already. No, yeah. But you said you came back to Eindhoven, and it changed a lot. What did you see? What kind of change did you see?
Well, do I need a mic or?
Yes, for the people who watch through the
screen. So I thought coming back to Eindhoven, coming back to my hometown, until I went on a bicycle with Erik van Gerwen, and he toured me through Eindhoven, and he showed me what is all in development. And I did not really realize how Eindhoven was changed that much. And we went to areas where, when I left, there was a bad part of the town. And now it's a nice place to be. And how do you do that? How do you work? How do you work that out within a city? That's what I experienced. And it made me even prouder than I already was for Eindhoven. Does that answer the question?
Yes, definitely. And also because you're bringing a fresh perspective. You're in your current role at Eindhoven 365 and Eindhoven 24/7 from May. So you're also still looking at all of us with fresh eyes. So I can also imagine that you might see potential that because we're really in it, we don't necessarily see anymore. I'm also curious, biking around, did you also, except from saw things that were better than you could remember, were there also sites that you thought, oh, wow, here is still so much potential?
Well, I think we are very timid. I think we should communicate even stronger in how nice Eindhoven is. And what we do, and because of the entrepreneurial side of it, that just people pick it up and just do it, instead of talking about it all the time. That's what where I saw a difference. I also think that when you see the growth in the city, it's not only about adding houses, and it's not about adding infrastructure, but it's how do you make from a house a home, and it's about well-being, and well-being is about capacity of sporting facilities, about leisure, about hospitals, about medical care. So it's everything that you need to address in a big city. So everything is growing, and that I think is really important that we face that.
And I can imagine that also this is a really interesting challenge. If you look at tourism and if you want to make sure that people, when they visit Eindhoven, they feel this growth, or they feel this energy, or they feel this.
Yeah, well, this is the complex thing, because when you talk about tourism, we are not Amsterdam. Amsterdam has the canals. And this is actually from a magazine. Amsterdam has the canals, Rotterdam has the harbor, and Eindhoven has the future. And I like it because we should not compete with the grachten. But where we compete with design, where we can compete with a look in Eindhoven that is nowhere existing. I realized that we were talking about Eindhoven being green. It's the second greenest city in the Netherlands. And when you talk about energy, and you are in Strijp S, and you see the Haasje-Over, and you have on top solar and wind energy that is part of the design, part of the construction, we need to communicate that stronger. And when Dennis is going to talk to you about his great company that he set up, what they did together, is that is what we need to put out there that makes Eindhoven special, different. The aquaphonic farming, the only restaurant that is going to be, that's the next step in Eindhoven, that's what we need to communicate about. That is unique, and that is something that we should put more into the vitrine. What the English word, you can help me out. In the window, yeah, exactly. And
Great.
don't be shy about it. We should not patsen, but we need to share it.
Yeah, we shouldn't shout, but we definitely should share what we're doing and what we're working on. Yes, thank you. Then I'm going to use that as a bridge to now go to Gabi and Dennis.
Mike, very good, Mike.
Thank you.
Yes. So please take us along within the wonderful company that you just created, and don't be shy, and then we can continue from there.
Thanks.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you. And
We
I
need to sit like the opposite side so people can.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, let's do it like
Okay,
this.
nice.
Okay.
So we don't have slides. You just need to hear our voice.
Yeah. First of all, I completely agree that we should be less timid as Eindhoven. We have a lot of cool stuff going on here we can be proud of. My name is Dennis. I'm one of the co-founders of Maps Untold, and we are on a mission to personalize city experiences. I do this together with Gabi.
Oh, it is the bridge for me. Okay. So yeah, we met at the TOE and we both have a really big passion for travel and for data, and we really thought, how can we fix the struggle of finding hidden gems in a really, really big city?
All right. So to get a little bit of the context, let me explain about how we started, why we started, and what we are aiming at. So during our studies, we encountered problems exploring cities we don't know. We searched TripAdvisor, Google, the big platforms, and we found tourist traps, things that we don't actually like. And it's a lot of searching, it's information overload. And there are a lot of industries like digital entertainment, digital commerce, where personalization is a standard, but not yet in tourism. So that's when we decided to pivot. We tried to build tools to find restaurants, bars, things to do in cities you don't know. And we tried a lot. We made, for instance, a Tinder for locations. So you swipe locations left and right, and based on that, you will receive recommendations. We tried, I don't know, some sort of image recognition technique. A lot of them failed, but now we have something that works for now, and we are building upon that. What we do is you can enter your favorite location from back home or a previous destination. It could be a restaurant, a bar, this place, it could be anything. And based on that, we give you the top 5 suggestions in your destination. So not a list of the top 20 in a specific theme, but only that fits your preference. To give a little example from my own life, I think 2 weeks ago I went to Porto and I had 2 hours to kill. And I needed some clothes. So I'm into vintage clothing. I searched vintage clothing stores and I found 20 results in Porto. But I only had 2 hours, so I had limited time to really research all the reviews and stuff. So I just decided to walk, it was 1 kilometer or something like that, to the closest one. And this was a perfect match. It was a vintage store and I really liked the owner, he was into the same music. So we talked for an hour, but this was serendipity. And a lot of the times it goes the other way. So this is like the 1 in 20 maybe, which was the best fit, but I want to make that always the hit. And this is also what we are aiming at. We see that over-tourism is becoming a bigger problem. If you look at cities like Barcelona, Amsterdam, they are setting restrictions. It's not nice for the local communities. And what we truly believe is that right now they fix it with restrictions. We think the only possible sustainable solution is a positive intervention. So that we personalize the offerings, because we think that people want to explore also other parts of the city and other things which they just cannot find right now. This way, me as a tourist, I'm happier, but also a local business. They get guests and they get customers from which otherwise would not come there.
Yeah, so a big thing with Maps Untold is what we think is every time you explore a city, you go to a museum or to a hotel and you think, okay, what's the next step? What will I explore after this? And with some students, the last year we went to a lot of local businesses, from museums to restaurants to art institutes, to see, okay, is this what's next question also at your place? And a lot of people said, yeah, there are a lot of new students, a lot of new people that are inhabitants here, and they are asking, what can I explore? How can I let Eindhoven really feel like home for me? And that's why we really want to focus on synergy with hospitality leaders. So your local restaurant, but also your local hotel, and really, really work together with them. So make a bridge between tech and human. Our business model is a lot, is really focused on the tourists. We really want to give you the best experience there. So we don't have people buying themselves up like TripAdvisor, but really focus on the synergy. So our app is also for only available in museums or in hotels and not B2C. Also because a lot of B2C startups push all their marketing money on Meta or on Instagram to just only get audiences. And we just really want to do it on a sustainable way. This year we are going to launch with a lot of cool apps and hotels, which we're really excited over.
Yeah, so right now we have a prototype running which is integrated within third-party apps. So think about hotel platforms, also mobility as a service, a payment provider where we are the explore option. The coming months we are doing a lot of testing about different ways of how to personalize the offerings of a city. So we are trying out connect your Spotify based on your music taste. It's some free text format, or click on images of a favorite city you like. For instance, if you like Berlin or Paris, what aspects of the city do you like, and how would you like that aspects to be found in Eindhoven, for instance? These are all ideas we are currently exploring, and if you have any ideas, anything is welcome. We just need more to test. We have two things to focus upon. First is the way of personalizing, and the second is when do you want to personalize the surroundings. So right now we offer it in guest apps in hotels. We are starting with B2C apps like shared mobility apps, shared payment providers, and we are always searching for when do you need it. With that, I think I'm finished. Yeah.
That's great. Should I stand there, maybe? No, just I will sort of move around. So before you know it, I'm also going to ask Roland to stand up again, and then there are everywhere. But first I have a question. How can we help you at the moment? Because you want it, but how do you need our help?
So yeah, like Dennis said, the biggest questions that we are currently researching is how do people want to be have their personalization of their customer journey in a city? Is that via Spotify or maybe your Instagram, your favorite celebrity? We wanted to make it really easy. So we're searching for one thing, and based on that one thing that we can understand you and what you want to do, that vacation. The other thing is, when are you searching for your surroundings? Is that when you came at your hotel, or when you're drinking with your friends, or when you left the museum? Are you then thinking, okay, where can I have a drink? So we're really curious about when and how.